Hey, what's up? It says I'm live. How's it going, Chad? How's it going, Zardos? Let's see what I got here. Share screen. There we go.
Storms in the forecast, it's time to think about how to protect your plants and crops from the icy grip of the season. Imagine waking up one frosty morning to find your greenhouse transformed into a frozen wasteland. The power's been out for hours, and without heat, months of care and hard work have withered into lifeless remnants. All that effort gone in an instant. So, how do you protect your crops from winter's worst? The answer lies in methods that go beyond the barn, inspired by the Amish way of life. While most of us are busy Googling the best ways to insulate a greenhouse, the Amish are cutting wood and figuring out how to heat a space using nothing but the sun, compost, and a few surprisingly simple materials. The brilliance isn't just that
For all
they've
you people
mastered
that
these
live up there
techniques,
with that
it's
white
how effectively
inside.
they use them. Buckle up or harness up if we're sticking with Amish tradition, because we're diving into how these farmers work with nature, not against it, to keep their crops thriving even when the weather outside feels more like a deep freeze than a garden.
File your taxes 100% free in the app if you didn't use us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do-It-Yourself.
Harnessing the sun, nature's oldest heater. The Amish swear by the original heat source, the sun. No monthly bills, no wires, and a track record of billions of years. First, placement is key. Amish farmers don't just plop their greenhouses anywhere. They are strategically positioned to face the southern sky, capturing as much sunlight as possible during the day. This technique is called passive solar heating, using the sun's energy without any mechanical assistance. But what about those short winter days? That's where smart greenhouse design comes in. The Amish build greenhouses from materials that capture and retain heat. Think glass or clear plastic that lets sunlight stream in, heating everything inside: the ground, plants, pots. All of it absorbs heat, much like how a parked car in the sun turns into a sauna. The greenhouse holds onto that warmth by the time the sun dips below the horizon, much like a good winter coat keeps you toasty even after you've left the fire. Even in the dead of winter, passive solar heating can reduce heating costs by up to 50%. And the Amish take it up a notch, with cleverness such as roofs angled to catch maximum rays and two-layered walls that trap more heat, kind of turning the greenhouse into a solar oven. It makes the best of cloudy daylight, where every photon has to be squeezed by the thrifty cook wringing the last drop of water from her dishcloth. It's a simple yet ingenious approach that maximizes efficiency, just another step in going beyond the barn. The secret of thermal mass, a patient heat source. Now, let's talk about one of the coolest, or should we say warmest, tricks in the Amish playbook: thermal mass. Sounds like a physics term, but it's simpler than you think. Thermal mass is the use of materials such as water, stone, or bricks to absorb heat during the day and release it at night, acting like a slow and steady heat source. Imagine your greenhouse as an oven preheating during the day. When the sun goes down, those materials hold the space warm well into the night. Water's especially good a 55-gallon barrel can store up enough heat to warm a small greenhouse through a chilly night. Stone pathways and dense, dark bricks along walls all do the trick, working behind the scenes to stabilize the temperature. For each square foot of thermal mass, you can reduce heating needs by up to 15%. Here's an Amish pro tip: dark-colored materials absorb more sunlight. So, opt for dark stones, bricks, or even large clay pots. They'll absorb warmth during the day and radiate it back when it's needed most. Thermal mass is like that friend who hoards blankets. Annoying at first, but you're grateful when they share the warmth with everyone else. Compost, nature's hot spot. If thermal mass is the unsung hero, then compost is the surprise star of Amish greenhouse heating. Composting is about more than recycling your kitchen scraps. It's a natural heat generator. Organic matter such as food waste, leaves, and manure release heat through decomposition when they break down. A well-managed compost pile can reach temperatures as high as 160 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than your morning cup of coffee. The Amish cunningly locate compost piles around, or in some cases, inside their greenhouses. These are mini heaters, warming the space without electricity. The secret? Equilibrium. Compost needs the correct mix of greens, which include kitchen scraps, grass clippings, and browns, which include dry leaves, straw to facilitate the optimal conditions for breaking down organic materials.
And one thing he hasn't mentioned yet, I don't know if he's going to, is since it's in your greenhouse, if you're going to do any clippings on your plants that are in there, you also throw them in the compost.
A well-ventilated and well-maintained compost pile smells earthy, not like a garbage pit. Want to go beyond the barn? Build compost bins directly inside your greenhouse to warm the plants directly. It's like having a heater made of potato peels and grass clippings. Plus, as a bonus, you'll end up with nutrient-rich soil to use when the compost is fully broken down. Warm plants and natural fertilizer? That's a win-win. Insulation and windbreaks, shielding from winter's wrath. No one likes a cold draft, least of all your plants. That's why the Amish rely on windbreaks and insulation to protect their greenhouses. Windbreaks are their first line of defense, using trees, shrubs, or hedges to block icy gusts. Studies show a well-placed windbreak can reduce wind speed by up to 50%, creating a microclimate around the greenhouse that's warmer and more stable. Straw bales are another favorite of the Amish. They stack them around the bottom of greenhouses to act as natural insulators, keeping the heat in and the cold out. These air pocket-filled barriers are effective, affordable, and biodegradable. Once winter is over, you can compost the straw for even more eco-friendly benefits. For additional insulation, plastic sheeting or double layers of clear plastic create an air pocket, acting like a makeshift thermos for your greenhouse. Dark surfaces inside absorb sunlight and release heat overnight, creating a cozy environment for your plants. It's efficient, sustainable, and works wonders without racking up an electric bill. Wrapping it up, the Amish way of greenhouse heating is working with nature to solve problems. From harnessing the sun and mastering thermal mass to compost-powered heat and strategic insulation, these techniques really go beyond the barn.
Man, that's enough of that. I already lost half you people anyhow. Obviously, y'all don't want to be farming in your backyards, especially in the white stuff. But if you do, that's the way to go. You can look it up, just follow the Amish way, and you'll be able to start your greens. Hey, what's up, Steve 4? Thank you, Tom. You'll be able to start your seedlings inside a greenhouse in February. Get them all good, nice size, all fresh, good soiled up to where it's good on the outside. You can throw them out there, and you'll have like 3 times the size of the crop every year over your neighbors, and it won't cost you anything other than the initial supplies to put the thing together. It's actually very ingenious. I mean, you can grow food in it over the winter as well. But like fava beans. There's an idea. Fava beans. You can grow the fava beans right as you see them start to flower on the fava bean. Pull it up. Rip it up. Don't let it flower and turn into a bean. What you do after you pull it up is you look at its root system, and every little ball of white stuff you see, and wear gloves when you do this. Every white ball you see on the root system of that fava bean is a pure nitrogen little, nitrode, I believe is what it's called. And you gather all those up. They're about, I don't know, a third to half the size of a BB. You can get a whole crap load of those up, stick them in a jar, mush them up, add a little bit of water. You have pure 100% nitrogen in that jar. You can't even buy it that pure. You could grow that stuff over wintertime and then use the nitrogen that you got from your fava bean plant and use it out in your fields. And you can do that for overwintering. And leave some, if you like fava beans, let some of them go to flower and give you the bean. Well, there's lots of things you can do naturally. It doesn't cost any money. You just got to basically just give a shit a little bit to learn a little something about how did people live 200 years ago? Okay, well, it's all written down. Just a little bit of research, and you can figure it out. In case anyone's thinking there might be some hunger problems, I'd also check into, if you don't want to do any of that stuff and you just want to do your regular crops, look at watermelon. It's actually a lot healthier for you than people have imagined in the past. They're finding out. And it tastes good, at least in my estimation. Watermelon tastes good. I'm actually going to grow quite a bit of watermelon this year. And I actually got potatoes and kale actually overwintered because I'm in a good spot. I got a nice microclimate, like in zone 5 to 7. So, yeah, there you go. That gets you. And the nitrates are actually about, I don't know, probably 25 times the strength of nitrogen than the banana peels and water. Although banana peels and water do have, it's definitely a way to add nitrogen to the soil. I would actually look at adding banana peels to a compost. That way, when they break down, every bit of your compost is heavily nitrogen rich. So that way, when you use it, you got a perfect effect right there. It's actually composted nitrogen, and it's not in a large amount, so you don't have to worry about it burning the root systems. Because those little nitrates, if you put too many of them in new root systems, there's enough nitrogen in that, there's nitrates to burn the roots of that plant. Boy, you nailed it. Sequart. I use all of that. I also fish. I get a sardine in the water down at this little cheapy grocery store where all the cheap shit goes. Before it goes bad, they sell everything there. So it's real cheap. I'll get sardines in water and a dozen or two eggs. Lady upstairs had compost her coffee. And I'll take all 3 of those ingredients, dig a hole, break the eggs, shell, egg, everything, all a dozen of them, open up 2 sardine cans, sardines in water, throw it down there, throw the coffee down there. And if I have any greens, I'll throw it down there, and then I'll cover it back up. And I won't grow there for I'll let 12 months go before I grow in that area for all the microbes and bacterias and all the little bugs and everything to move in and do their job to make that soil just awesome. And I've been doing that for a couple of years here. This whole backyard is, it doesn't look like much, but you could pretty much grow anywhere you want, and it would grow very, very, very well. Yeah, I'll do a video tomorrow. I'm doing some more land work. Neighbor, I told him a couple times about, us taking down the chain link fence so that we could do some landscaping and flatten out the dirt between our 2 properties, because at different areas, his is higher and different areas, mine's higher, right? And he was like, yeah, whatever, and didn't listen to me. So we put the fence up, and I'll take a video tomorrow and it'll explain everything. Ends up, the little bit of landscaping I have to do ends up being about 4 inches lower. The new ground level is 4 inches lower than the concrete of the second to last pole, because he didn't do it beforehand like I suggested. And I'm unconcerned. I'm taking care of my side of the yard. For the 4 years the guys live next door and fixing the place up, I've been trying to give him advice. He has not listened, and had to pay a lot of extra money because he didn't listen. He keeps not listening, so he's just gonna have to pay a lot of money. Saw a dirt pile in your short. No, that wasn't a dirt pile. That was yeah. Oh, it was a dirt pile. Okay, I thought sawdust. No, it was a dirt pile. Yeah, that's about half of what I moved. I've already got, I think, 16 5-gallon buckets. I've already put in little green pails. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 green pails. That's 14. I got rid of 14 5-gallon buckets of dirt, and that you saw, the dirt pile in my yard in the short, was what's left. And I actually got more I had to dig up to take care of the elevation issues between the sidewalk and the fence. So I got more dirt now, actually. But I'll get rid of it eventually, using up a lot of the stuff. I'll do a little short tomorrow on it. Yeah, it's pinned up top. If anyone wants to jump up on the panel and talk shit, you're more than welcome to. No, I didn't bring it in, Tom. No, I had to dig that out from the fence line because on one area of my yard, it was about 1.5 feet taller than on the neighbor's side. And I didn't want dirt piled up against the fence, the wooden fence. It would like tear it up within 2 to 3 years. So I had to totally fucking terraform that side of the yard and probably about a yard and a half, maybe two yards of soil I've had to move. And I have to like kind of landscape it to where it's slanty and stuff. You know, if there's it's a lot of work, but it's gonna look good when I'm done. And when I first got here 8 years ago, it looked like shit. I didn't. There was nothing nice about that backyard. And by the end of this summer, I'm gonna have lighting out there. It's gonna look real good. I got where I cut down part of, well, not part of. I cut the whole damn thing down. A grapefruit tree on the fence line. So I left 2 levels because it split into 2 trunks. One of them's about 2 foot level. One of them's about 3.5 foot level. I'm going to go ahead and take my chainsaw and, well, I might not carve on the damn trunk, but I'll definitely take some wood and make it like a seat and a sitting area with a table or something. And I'll have lights along that privacy fence. And I've got a nice little walkway with some stone step pathway putting in there. It's going to look real fucking good. Where before it was just a piece of shit. But having said that, there was also right next door a fucking rat motel 8 years ago. There's so many rats going in this little fucking shed they had on the other side of the fence line. You see a fucking highway of little fucking dirty footprints going from the yard up into the top of their shed. And they got in the shed. And there was like 5 yucca plants about 30 foot tall. And yeah, I had to do a lot of terraforming, a lot of tree taken down. I take 3-4 trees down in the backyard, all of them. Well, 3 of them in the neighbor's yard. One of them was the grapefruit tree in my backyard. And I still have to take that orange tree out front and transplant it out back to where it can actually fully grow because those oranges are fucking sweet and delicious. To where the neighbor's oranges are real small. They're like twice the size of a golf ball. That's Gandalf you're hearing the Russian blue. To where my oranges are about the size of a little bigger than a baseball, between a baseball size and a softball size oranges. So any topics y'all want to talk about, or anyone want to come to stage or talk? We can talk about farming knowledge. What little bit I know about pharmaceuticals, very limited. Talk about warships. Marines, the Marine Corps' proposed new strategies for Indo-Pacific Asian warfare. It's kind of interesting. It's actually real interesting. Goes back to the premise of how America does everything. We win. We scare the shit out of everyone and win. But we won't talk about that because you guys don't seem interested in that. I don't have much else ready to no videos or anything. I guess I could look for a video. Let me see. This is not channel content. So let me go to channel content, playlist, see what we got here. Oh, well, here we go. That one's too long. Okay, we'll do this one. Hold on, guys. I'll be right there. Got to run through this commercial, get it over with. Get just a little something here about let's see, present, share screen, share screen. There we go.
Hello everyone! Today I want to tell you about the most precious metal on Earth, platinum. In the periodic table of chemical elements, platinum is located in the 10th group and it's also part of the so-called platinum group of precious and rare metals. Platinum is considered to be the most precious metal. Also, in fact, it's not the last common in the Earth's crust. It occurs a little less often than gold, also at a price somewhat inferior to the latter. For the last 100 years, platinum has been worth more than gold, but because of the active development of industry, as well as the recent drop of oil prices, the price of platinum declined and became lower than that of gold, as it is used increasingly more in electronics and the chemical industry. Platinum has a very high density, that is 8.5% more than gold. In this small drop, there is 1 gram of platinum. According to the chemical activity, platinum is an ally of gold, also still slightly inferior to the latter.
You
In
don't melt
air,
alligators
platinum does not
and stuff.
oxidize, even when heated to 1000 degrees. Compare the oxidized crocodile made of nickel-plated iron and a shiny ball of platinum that has practically not changed in appearance. Platinum, unlike other precious metals, has this one property that makes it possible to use this metal not only as decorative item, but also as a catalyst in chemical industry. I'll demonstrate this property to you by oxidizing ammonia on the surface of platinum wire,
Hey,
which I
Crafty.
have bent in the form of its chemical symbol. And, by the way, platinum is a very soft metal. I put the heated platinum wire into the flask filled with ammonia, a gas that does not burn in air. Seconds later, the platinum wire is heated and continues to glow, participating as a catalyst in the reaction of ammonia oxidation with air oxygen.
So
A catalyst
he's
is a
creating heat
substance
with
that
ammonia and
reduces the
platinum.
energy needed to carry out a chemical reaction, while not being consumed itself. Ammonia does not usually burn, but on the hot surface of platinum wire is oxidized to nitrogen monoxide. The same thing happens if we swap ethanol with ammonia in the glass with ethanol vapor. The platinum wire glows, being a catalyst for the oxidation of ethanol to acetic aldehyde. Platinum can even catalyze the oxidation of propane from a gas burner. I'm scorching the platinum wire and then extinguishing the burner, but with a new supply of propane. The platinum wire continues to glow, allowing the propane to oxidize on its surface without burning. If the wire is bent more densely, it can be heated to a temperature at which the burner ignites. This property of platinum to catalyze chemical reactions is now widely used in automotive catalytic converters, to which half of the world's extracted platinums goes to. In the exhaust system of the car, there is a casing containing porous ceramics coated with platinum, as well as palladium powder. When heated exhaust gases pass through such a catalyst, the harmful gases nitrogen dioxide and carbon monoxide are converted into the safe nitrogen and carbon dioxide.
So
Over
you have a
time,
chemical
such
plant
a
in the exhaust
catalyst
system.
wears out, and the otherwise working car has a sweetish smell of nitrogen dioxide in the exhaust gases, and the platinum that has escaped with the exhaust gases from the converter can be now found in the road dust. Also, the property of platinum to be a catalyst is used in the chemical industry. For example, with the help of platinum catalysts, there is a reaction of increasing the octane number of gasoline, and also in the production of margarine by saturation with hydrogen or vegetable oils. Metal organic compounds of platinum are used to control cancerous tumors. Also, in computer hard drives, platinum is used as a part of the magnetic layer on the surface of the rotating shiny disks, although its quantity is small there. Platinum itself is a good investment, unless of course you tell someone that you have an ingot of platinum in your house. Also, platinum does not react with any acid, even with concentrated nitric acid. However, if you mix a concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid, you'll get so-called aqua regia, capable of dissolving platinum. The reaction of dissolving platinum in the aqua regia only happens when heated, and during the reaction, a hexachloroplatinic acid is formed, which is used as a catalyst in organic synthesis, as well as for determination of potassium ions. Such a reaction is used to produce a more pure platinum from its ore concentrate. Platinum reserves in the ice crust are limited, since most of it is dissolved in the iron core of our planet. Currently, around 265 tons of platinum are mined in the world every year. The demand for it is growing more and more, causing a deficit. Therefore, many businessmen are already processing the platinum.
No, you guys don't need to hear about anything that I tell you about. Buy silver and platinum. I tell you that for a reason. Been telling you that for years. Anyhow, anything else you guys want to talk about? Like I said, I got nothing planned. I got nothing. I got nothing. All right, well, I'm going to end this, guys. I appreciate you coming in here. I hope you got a little info on farming and on platinum. And I will see you next Sunday if I don't come up with the live and the here and thither, hither and thither.